My mum told me that her mum told her once that she thought we were one of the most unluckiest families there is. And I kind of relate to that. Like, I'd lost all my grandparents by the time I was like 15. The one who stayed alive the longest was the one who was an alcoholic who caused a lot of the bad shit to happen in the first place. Like, I lost 2 grandparents in 1 year. And that's sad. And I don't know why I'm talking about this on camera.
It's hard to breathe inside the dome. I used to go home, stuck in the world that I was craving for. I try to change the way I see the world around me, but every time I end up where I begin, in the same way
I think I had quite an interesting upbringing because you can probably tell by my accent I wasn't born here. I was born in a town called Gravesend, which is just outside of southeast London. So, and when I went to primary school there, I was in primary school with people from 29 other countries. Gravesend felt really nice because it felt like people actually lived there, you know. Like, for better or for worse, like you would see bad things, like you would see people having fights, you would see people doing graffiti. There were certain alleyways where you would see like needles on the ground. And they weren't from people with diabetes. Like you would see like people with needles on the ground and people would come up to you and ask for money. And you knew what it was for. And you don't really have that in Ullapool. But at the same time in Ullapool you don't have, like you wouldn't have a parade of an Indian celebration of light. You wouldn't see all these people from different cultures. You wouldn't get to experience that thing. You know, it's kind of like the best of both worlds. Like, I'm glad I experienced growing up in a city. Well, it wasn't a city, but like a big crowded place. And I'm also glad I got to experience being here. Because it's like I've seen both sides of the coin. And they both have their good side and their bad side.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, it's like, it's the end of the world, but it's a beautiful end of the world.
Exactly. Like, Ullapool is like a beautiful end of the world. Like, it is a beautiful place. Like, it's like you do feel, it sounds kind of hippie-ish, but you feel connected to nature here. Like, you can just, like, you can go up a hill and walk for 10 minutes and feel like you're the only person in the world. Like, you can see the town from the hill. Or like, you could just drive half an hour somewhere and just be in like an incredibly remote area where you might see like one other person walking a dog, but you feel completely alone. And that can sometimes be really comforting. Like, I didn't really enjoy being a teenager here, but does anyone enjoy being a teenager anyway? Like, growing up sucks. I mean, like, who, like, wasn't an angsty teenager? But, like, in Ullapool, I feel like it was made worse because, you know, I was gay. Like, I think I was the first openly gay guy to ever be at my high school. Like, there had been guys in the closet, and there have been guys who came out afterwards. There had never anybody who was in high school who had been openly gay. Like, I felt like there was nobody really like me here. Because there weren't any other gay guys here. I mean, I had friends who were queer, who were female. And like, that was nice, but it felt like I was the only one who was truly like me.
to make this end or start over.
like, who am I to talk about Ullapool, really? Like, I've only lived here for 6 years. I mean, that is like a quarter of my life, just over. But like, there are people that have like never left this place. That freaks me out. Like, I feel like at least once you would want to go and experience something else. And like, they just stay here.
And it's scary to think like that because it's so easy to get stuck here. So easy to. Especially younger people who are in like 20s, 30s. They'll speak to me and they'll be like, find something. Move away from here. Don't get sucked into it. And I think, you know, there is a danger of getting stuck here. Like, I feel like I'd be alone if I was here forever. Like, I don't think I'd ever find like a boyfriend here. I mean, maybe there's like a fleeting chance that I would, but I don't think I'll ever feel like I belong here. I think I've had too many bad experiences here, what were, you know, my granny dying, my grandpa dying, my dad getting MS. Like, it's hard not to feel slightly cursed in Ullapool. Like, I feel like nothing ever goes right here. I remember like the first years of high school, people would throw around the word gay as an insult a lot. And I don't know if they were deliberately doing it to be homophobic because they don't know any better, and like, kids can be really mean. But it definitely did cut me, and it definitely did affect my confidence, because I was like, well, the one thing you can't be as a guy here is gay, and that's what I am. So I'm just gonna have to fake it, but I couldn't fake it. Like, everybody knew, and everybody picked on me for it. There was this kid I knew, he was like 14, like he was a few years younger than me. And like, he called me one night crying because of like a threat he'd got from these bullies, and he was like about to kill himself. He was like, I've stolen a rope from my dad. I was like, shit. And I had to like talk him away from it. He was like, this is what they're doing to me. And I was like, who? And he wouldn't tell me. It was kind of easy to work out because there's a lot of troubled youth. And like, yeah, I had to like, he didn't do it, but like, he looked so like sad, and like, I saw another guy ask where he was that day, and I was like, I didn't tell them. I was like, oh, I haven't seen him. I guess it's because it's like ripples in water, like everything, because in Ullapool everybody's watching you, and everybody knows who you are, so you do something, people find out, like your friends find out, people you don't like find out. People will become interested, and like, you know, it's just, so maybe it is a small group of people, but a small group of people doing something can spread like wildfire. And then like, people used to like cyberbully me. They used to be like, you're so gay, lol. You know, like, you should kill yourself. Like, I got told that when I was like 12, so I was like, okay, this is pretty bad. So I think that's pretty weird, how like, we got teenage pregnancy, we got kids doing drugs. And like, thing is, I started kind of late with it. Like, I was 16. Like, 14-year-olds have come up to me before and been like, can I buy any weed off you? You know, like, I've seen them doing it. And like, yeah, it got like the bad bits of the modern world. Not any of the good bits. But I think also because it's so isolated, it's hard to stay away from those things. Like, it is if you have like a good support network around you, or you're just not depressed. But when everybody wants to escape this place, the closest way you can get to escaping is getting high. That's kind of how it's seen. Like, you can be depressed in this small town that you know you're not going to get out of, or you've told yourself you know you're not going to get out of. Or like, you know, you can't really leave your house and do anything. Like, you might as well just like get high by yourself and like forget about it all for a few hours. You know, it's just a thing people do. But like, you would think that in a town so small, in the modern world, these things wouldn't like exist.